So I'm just going to take my power supply, move it off to the side there. We're going to take all of these cables, move them to the side. Then I'm just going to bring my PC over here, and being super careful to avoid what happened the last time this thing fell over, just gonna make sure I hold on to it like that so it doesn't fall over. Using my wife's makeup brush, I'm just gonna clean some of the dust in there, just a little bit, but it doesn't seem all that dusty. So I'm just gonna start with the CPU cables. These cables right here. So I have a fan right there in the way of this little hole right here where the cable is supposed to be going through. So I'm just going to unscrew that fan. Oopsie. Now that we have this fan out of the way, it should now be much easier to run this cable in there. The CPU cables are in. I can now screw back this fan into place. So I'm just gonna move my PC this way. Then I'm just gonna need the motherboard cable. Then of course we're gonna need the 8-pin cables. I think I'm gonna have to remove this hard drive bay right there. And we're taking this out, the hard drive bay, we don't need that anymore. And our power supply should be able to easily slip in now. So now I'm just gonna put in the GPUs before I start cleaning up the back cable some more. This is my GTX 1080 Ti. An amazing graphics card. So I'm just gonna put it there just for now. Then in here, the box for the Supreme X. This is where I have my 3070. So we're gonna be putting this one in as well. So I'm gonna be putting this GPU at the bottom. In case you were wondering, I'm not gonna be using this PC for gaming. It's gonna be strictly for 3D rendering. And when it comes to 3D rendering, whether you have the GPU at the top or at the bottom, the performance difference for rendering is not that much. It's usually within a couple of seconds. So it's not like I'll be losing a whole lot of performance by putting this one at the bottom and having the 1080 Ti at the top. When it comes to rendering, the performance difference is not a lot. Probably a couple of seconds, maybe 10, 12 seconds at the max. For 3D rendering, I've tested it out with my other PC. It doesn't make that much of a difference right there. So I'm just gonna put this right there at the bottom. Oh no, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. This is bad. This is definitely bad. Unless I am somehow able to move the cooler from here to the top, if it will allow me. So if I can move the cooler from the front to the top, I might have more room to play with. So I'm just gonna unscrew the fans here at the top, and hopefully we are able to salvage this situation, because I actually didn't count on this not fitting. So if the cooler is not there, as you can see, it'll fit perfectly. The problem right there is the cooler. So this case isn't that big. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna quickly go online and see if it's possible to mount this cooler at the top in this case. And hopefully the heatsink there gives me enough clearance to make that possible. Honestly speaking, I do not want to buy another case. I would rather try to sell this and get a smaller 3070 than to buy another case. So I'm just gonna quickly go Google. Hopefully everything works out. I'll be back in a second. So I'm back. I just did a little Google search, and according to the website Antec, this is an Antec NX320, and according to the website, it doesn't officially say that it actually supports a radiator right there at the top. And also, the problem that I would have as well is the RAM slot. So even if it were to technically fit, the RAM slots might be an issue to a large extent. Ooh. Well, I guess we have no choice. Let's attempt moving this cooler right here to the top. I have a feeling this might be an issue, but let's hope for the best. Let us hope for the best. Wait a minute. I could be wrong, but I'll test it out now. I could be wrong. But there seems as if there's a bit of space in this front compartment here. Let me check it out. Seems as if there's space here. So I'm just gonna look for an old fan, put it here, and try to see if I can close it. If I am able to close it while the fan is inside, that means I could essentially just take these fans, bring them over to the inside there, then this could push in a little bit further in. So I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully it works out. So we have an old fan. This is a fan that I've had in my cupboard for like the past 8-10 years. So I'm just gonna take this, put it in here, and see if it will fit. And the answer seems to be a yes. The answer seems to be a yes. So, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see what's happening in here, but the fan fits in here and you can actually close this front cover, which means I do not have to buy a new case. That almost ruined my day. So that means I'm just gonna unscrew these fans, bring them this side, and this will be pushed further in, and it will of course give me more space to work with. So I think I'm gonna have this case laid down like this. Okay, I definitely need to clean this, but I'll run a blower through this as soon as I have a guarantee that my plan is actually going to work. The last thing you want is to start cleaning, high hopes, thinking everything is going to work out, then bam, still doesn't fit. So fingers crossed, but I do have a little bit of hope that everything will work out. I just screwed in this one fan over here just to hold the radiator in place. Before I screw in the other one, I just want to test to see if the GPU is now going to fit. So, moment of truth. And yes, the GPU does fit right now. So the only thing that I need to do is to screw in the two other fans, and if I'm able to properly close the front panel, then we are good to go. So I still have a bit of hope that everything is going to work out perfectly. And I just have to finish this off right now, and we are good to go after that. So after struggling for the past hour, I managed to move the fans from the inside to the outside right there. As you can see right there, originally these fans were on the inside, so hopefully we are able to close this. So let me quickly run these cables from this end. And hopefully we are able to close it. That makes me super happy. It closes and it fits perfectly. And I now have enough room on the inside for my graphics card. Whew. I was worried there for a second, it almost ruined my day, but everything has a way of working itself out. So let me quickly just plug the fans back in. So these two are for the fans and they came from this one. Here's my big ass GPU again. Hopefully everything just fits in properly. Finally. So now I'm just gonna bring in my 1080 Ti, my tie, And there we have our two GPUs right there. The GTX 1080 Ti with the RTX 3070. It's been a long day, but we are almost there. And this is what I mean. I have no choice but to run the cables like that, considering that I don't really have any space underneath there and the fans have to spin underneath there. I kind of wish that Palette would have put these connectors right here on the side, similar to this. Then I would have these cables just running along the side right there. But for some reason they have to put them in the middle. These ones are off to the side and I'm able to run them much more easier that way, and these ones have to be right there in the middle. Even if I had this PC right here at the top, the problem there is they would still be running from the top right there because the fan have to spin underneath there. But as long as the PC works, I think that is the most important thing. So now that the GPUs are in the case, I can actually finish off the cable management at the back. Whew. That took longer than expected. Of course, it would have been an easy install if it wasn't for the fact that our GPU didn't initially fit, but everything seems to have gone well. And I think that's it for this video. I'm just gonna put back the glass panel and we are done. We have our new power supply there, one of the best power supplies in the world, and it was actually worth selling my other two power supplies for. This is an amazing power supply. I already have 3 of these, and I kind of wish I didn't buy the deep cool one, then I would have 4 of these, but 3 is good enough. I actually checked, I'll put it on the screen somewhere. It's actually ranked an A+ on the PSU tier list, so it's one of the best. Then the deep cool one is rated a B-, which is very disappointing considering that they are almost the same price. So for the same amount of money, it would have been worth it to go for another one of these, but it is what it is. The deep cool power supply is a good power supply. It's a gold plus and it has a 10-year warranty on it. And B- isn't bad. It isn't bad, but A+ is where it is. And I think this is all for the video. Wait. I will put the glass panel back on, power it up, see if it works. Then after that, it'll be the end of the video. It's been a long day. Moment of truth. And it seems to be working just fine. thumbs up from me.